My name is Hallandil Fang. Hal. I am a older, dark-haired with streaks of white orc gentleman, dressed in fairly fine but not ostentatious clothing, and has smile lines at the eyes from a life well lived.
Human in appearance, he is just over 5'10", but gives the presence of someone that's taller than that. His pride carries him above his height. He is strong, lean, muscular. He has medium brown skin and coppery auburn brown hair that's tied back in a braid, a birthmark that goes up the right side of his neck, up his face, and up to his forehead around his eye. His eyes look like a sunset on an ocean. The bottom half of his irises are a deep blue. His pupils are yellow, like the sun that burst out into an orange, and then into a teal, and then into a light gray. He is wearing full armor, as is given to him by his station in Dol Makyar. He is a member of the Revolutionary Guard, an arcane marshal, specifically. And his arms are exposed. Along his right bicep are tattooed the words, "Have mercy on those I send you."
Taisha is she's tall for an orc, sort of 60 saturated green skin, curly, long, dark hair. It's beginning to show the signs of graying, but her druidic connection means that the age of her is being lost in her face. She's already started slowing down, so she appears in her mid to late 30s. Her eyes, the scleras and pupils are black, but her irises are silver with like a ring of red, and on her hands, her fingers go red and black at the tip. She is Aloy, a family that means something in this city.
You see a small young man, about small in presence. He's about 5'11".
Tiny.
He is thin, with dark hair and light olive skin and bright green eyes, and wearing dark, noble clothing that is clean but worn, and with an array of implements around his belt and a book strapped to his leg. And he is glassy-eyed. He is just staring and not blinking. And with him is a small, white and other colors fox.
Very tall, very powerfully built lion man. Dark silver fur coming down from his head onto his shoulders. He has a golden breastplate and adornments that would match his station as a vanguard marshal. Purple vestments and a shield on his back as well, with a cape flowing behind him and his feet, of course, uncovered, as is custom for our kind. Powerful arms, a tattoo running up the upper left side of his arm, and you see braids coming down from his mane down onto his chest. And he is moving alongside this orcish woman, but also scanning while he does so. It's habit. It's part of what he does.
He's a very beautiful young man, maybe 28 or 30 years old. He has light teal and white hair with teal and white robes. I think the most distinguishing characteristic about him would be the pearlescent, shimmering face markings that he has, tattoos all over about half of his face. They seem to shimmer with a light that they make on their own. He is clutching very hard and sort of fingering nervously a cane that he carries with the symbol of the Candescent Creed on the top of it. And he's got a lot of sweat on his upper brow right now, sort of rocking back and forth.
She's got bubblegum colored skin, white hair, blunt bangs that are sort of haphazardly tucked behind a veil, a bunch sticking out. She's got yellow goat's eyes, soft goat's ears, and she's got a silver arrow piercing through one of them, and of course, a forked tongue. Hooves, put her at around like 5'3", not including the horns jutting out. Her tail peeks out of just an abomination of ruffles that mark her as an aspirant to the Candescent Creed of the House of Halovar. Hi, I'm a demon, and my name is Tyranny.
With short brown hair. She's older than the last time you saw her. You can't tell, she thinks she looks almost like 18 at this point. She's in her clothes are a bit tattered now, they're dark green. Her wings, which are normally a bright spring green, are almost muted at this point, and the wing is a little bent, and she's unconscious and askew on the ground. Her two swords, the needles, have scattered away from her grasp.
He's older. I'd say in his mid-40s or so, but it's tough to tell because he's lived a hard life, a weathered life from the very beginning. You see a man at the waning peak of his physical ability, but he was definitely there and very, very capable. He's 6'4", 220 pounds. He's carved out of the oak that he lives among. Cadigan Vale is, has a cowl and hood over his head, and monochrome. Everything on him feels scavenged, but purposeful. High quality and cared for, but wild and raw. And the things that he wears represents who he is on the inside as well. He is, he's a wild man in a place that he shouldn't be.
And he is covered head to toe, from gloves all the way up to a high neck. He has very long, curly, dark red hair. And the most notable thing about Belair is that he wears a mask. And this mask is a gray clay with dark gray, almost black lips, and very, very large, empty pools of blackness where each eye should be, with a cut to indicate possibly tears that run down the face. Deep within these black pools, you can see tiny blue reflected lights, almost like a cat hiding in a shadow at night. And that's what blinks instead of the mask.
In dark purples and gray with red trim, you see across the right shoulder an intricate silver metal pauldron, and the other shoulder itself hidden within a dark green short cape with intricate designs of vine and flower kind of sewn through it. Himself, a very stern, kind of stoic look as he just kind of stares into the opposite side of the carriage. His long, heavily curly black hair kind of tumbling past his shoulders, his other hand kind of resting on his knee while his sheathed rapier sits on his left hip as he just kind of rides in the carriage.
A dwarf woman with kind of long auburn hair spilling out from under a flat brim cap, like big, long, big hat. And then you see that she's wearing this like coat. It's like long duster jacket that doesn't have sleeves. Sleeves are bullshit. And it looks like she walked into a rich person's house and saw someone's rug and went, that looks nice, and then made a jacket out of it. And then you see she's not afraid of color. And even though it is a funeral, you know, she has to show off her proudest asset, which is her big old rack. And, you know, as she likes to say, you know, lanterns are lit, so are the tits.
Let's go.
You're both suddenly aware that the temperature has dropped about 15 degrees in the last minute. It is night, and the clouds have vanished, and the silver light over the rookery casts everything in a strange translucence. The magpies aren't cawing. Something ancient moves upon the face of this city.
Dressed in sort of deep obsidian, snug, black leather chest armor and robes and pale white lacing that goes all the way up the top to the top of her throat. She pulls down a black hood and she wears a veil of mourning that looks to be chainmail that's draped over her elven ears.
Cool.
And the part of her face that we can see, you can see that there's gashes and scarring and burns. What almost looks like a scar of arcane magic. Wrapped around her waist a few times is a very, very long chain, and she holds the end of it sort of laced between her fingers, and dangling on the bottom of it is a censer with some smoke coming out of it.